talking about do your best, which, as you saw in the newsletter, was something that was pretty well programmed into me through childhood. And as I said in the newsletter, like really, 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 my mum didn't mean anything bad by it. She really, really said it in such a genuine. She's even talked about it recently, actually, which what brought it back to mind. She really meant it as a, you know, do your schoolwork, work as hard as you can, like commit yourself. When you go to do your exams or tests or whatever, you know, give it your all, give it your best, do your best. It's just not caring about the outcome. You know, she was clear on that as well. Like, it doesn't matter what you get, as long as you've done your best, that's all you can do, and you can't do any more. And at least you can still like say, well, that's it. Like, yeah, I really couldn't have done any more. So she was saying it from such an authentically helpful place. Like, she was really meaning to be, in many ways, taking the pressure off, like not wanting me to think there was some necessary outcome that I had to get. And yet what happens with all of us is we're just designed to collect some stories, and the story of do your best or else was one that I was just designed to collect. And I know I'm not the only one. I know it's a common one for many people. This idea that there's a best me, and there's a best way of doing things, the best way of being, and so we spend a lot of time trying to be that. We spend a lot of years learning and doing personal development and coaching or whatever, training courses, and perhaps different practices, you know, to try and keep ourselves being that best person. And I had a shift around, you know, when that started to look like it wasn't working. That was the thing that had me go, well, hang on, you know, all this hard work and all this efforting, and why is it not working, and why don't I feel like I've reached this best place yet? And yeah, it started to look a bit less compelling. You know, life wasn't getting any happier or more secure, or yeah, if anything, some things were getting worse. And so what the understanding points to that I talk to people about is saying that the feeling of joy that we've had in the times when we seem to have achieved our best isn't actually anything to do with what's happening in the outside world. All that's happened in those moments is that chattery voice that says, come on, do more, you're not your best yet, try harder, go a bit further, do it faster. All that happens in that moment is when we achieve, let's say we did pass an exam, and in the moment of passing the exam and getting that result, that chattery mind goes quiet, and we feel amazing. Like, yay, I did it. I got there. I did the best. And we've confused that lovely feeling that we get in that moment with the exam. We've thought that the exam gave us that lovely feeling, that the achievement of that result gave us that lovely feeling. But all it ever was that mind going quiet, and we were feeling what we really are. We were feeling our essence, feeling what I call innate brilliance. And so in the confusion of thinking that it was the exam or the job or the, I don't know, positive behavioral feedback, whatever the thing was that we thought was making us feel good, in the confusion of thinking that's where the nice feeling came from, of course it makes sense to chase that. Of course it makes sense to try and do more of that. Or equally, when the nice feeling goes away, like, yay, passed the exam, oh, feel really good. And then, oh, yucky feelings have come back again, and I feel insecure again, and I feel like I'm not my best again. God, that exam mustn't have been enough. Like that can't have been a big enough exam or an important enough exam, or right, I have to do another one. I have to, you know, the next one, that must be the one that's going to nail this, you know, not best yet thing. And so we do the next thing, and so chase. And so, yeah, when we recognize that, oh no, the feeling was always coming from here, it was never coming from those things out there, the chase just stops, because it stops making sense. Which doesn't mean we stop learning, it doesn't mean we stop growing or changing or developing, but it means we get really clear about who we are, where the feelings are coming from, and what the feelings are really telling us. which has never been taught to us before. We never get told this in school. We never get told it in most development programs either. And so it keeps us in the chase until, as I say, we tend to get to a point where we start to say, no, it's not working. This doesn't make sense anymore. And thank goodness, then there's an answer there. There's an alternative which we can discover, which is this conversation. And then best is seen as everything in every moment. So Michael Neal, one of his quotes, who's one of the coaches in this, he says about, we're all doing our best based on the thinking that looks real in the moment. And we can say that for every moment of life. We are all doing our best in every single moment of our lives ever. Always. So everything that's happened in your past, everything that's going to happen in your future, everything right now is the best. There's nothing else. And any ideas of anything else is imagination and not actually happening. And imagination always takes us out of connection with the moment, which is always where suffering arises. So yeah, the invitation is the seeing of now and the seeing of how it's really working, seeing of how the system's really working, where our experience is really coming from. And it clears up so much confusion.